Shut the fuck up. Your fans become your haters. You done?
Okay, so before we start, I just want to let y'all know that indeed he was right in one thing and one thing only. The crossover between Godzilla and the Marvel Universe, at least the most recent one, is indeed canon. However, he still got some things wrong and other things are still highly debatable. So without further ado, let's get right in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have another debunk on our hands. I think the last time someone actually tried this, it was Godzilla versus Groudon. So this ought to be fun to see, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
No, actually, that is one of the strongest versions of Thor. Actually, that version of Thor is stronger than even before he became unworthy.
All right, so unworthy Thor being stronger than pre-current Thor or before he even became unworthy is actually hilarious. Because again, like I said before, Hulk one-shotting that Thor is not a very good feat to use when comparing to the one Godzilla did. Like I said before, and this probably flew over your head, the fact that he couldn't handle Sentry until after War of the Realms, where he not only became worthy again, but received his All-Father status and got a portion of the Odin Force. Alright? Like I said, all you had to do was really read War of the Realms to actually get this kind of context, but whatever. And again, when he got that, he was able to stalemate this merged Sentry, all right? But let's actually go into another point. Mangog, right? Considering we have to compare unworthy Thor to before he became unworthy, which I think was kind of obvious he was more powerful, but okay. The fact that Mangog in the Mighty Thor issue 704 not only beat the mess out of a weakened Odin, but a unworthy Thor at the same time, and he literally states they are not the same Thor and not the same Odin that he fought back then. Keep in mind, back then, when Thor was worthy, he was not only able to put the beats on Mangog, but was actually able to overpower and beat him. And he has also like several other feats where he's compared to like a prime Odin, like beating gods. Like Zella, who was literally had the full power of a prime Odin. Literally stole his power. Yeah, here's Thor being able to not only overpower him, but beat him just enough so that his dad can get his power back. And yet, we're going to compare what unworthy Thor did to Thor back then when he was actually worthy. Here he is again, drawing blood from a prime-powered Odin. So not only is Thor doing a lot better back before he was unworthy, but he's also outperforming his unworthy self. Next point.
The fact that Hulk managed to, yes, one-tap that Thor is way more impressive than you give it credit for.
There's no way you actually said that Immortal Hulk being able to one-tap an unworthy Thor is more impressive than Godzilla one-tapping an immortal Thor. Like, are you kidding me right now? The fact that Immortal Thor in his entire run has literally way more power than he's ever did before is actually kind of hilarious. But let's actually run this down real quick. For starters, in the previous Thor arc, his Cosmic King run, as I call it, he actually received the full power of the Odin Force. Everything about it. All of Odin's power. You know, the same thing you said is just like the power cosmic. Very interesting, isn't it? How Thor got the entire thing, right? And then he goes on a couple issues later and absorbs the entirety of Zeus's power as well. Keep in mind, this is a much stronger Zeus, as he was more powerful with the power cosmic, or his cosmic energies and stuff like that. And then, like I said before, he would also be stronger because he also was able to wrestle the World Serpent, something he has never been able to do when he was both unworthy and worthy. So him actually being able to physically wrestle it proves that he is much stronger and much more powerful than what he was before. The fact that you even tried to compare one of the weaker versions of Thor to literally his strongest current self today, saying that Immortal Hulk did something way more impressive than what Godzilla did, is actually hilarious.
Shenanigans? Here's unworthy Thor clobbering Beta Ray Bill and overpowering an Elder of the Universe. Yeah, that's the Collector, by the way. Again, a significantly weaker Thor without Mjolnir and without the power of the Thunder God. Now, moving on.
Right? But here's the thing. He one-tapped, Godzilla one-tapped current Thor, the immortal Thor.
Okay, you can say whatever you want about Godzilla one-tapping Thor, but my brother in Christ, you cannot be acting like this didn't happen or like this is not.
Okay, well, this is actually going to be far easier than I expected, but again, no, that feat is not as impressive as the one Godzilla performed because Thor was never knocked out. Now, let's talk about the Better Ray Bill one here. Better Ray Bill is not trying to fight Thor. He's actually looking at his brother in shock like, dude, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, dude, are you okay? And then Thor again proceeds to beat him. Keep in mind, Bill is fine during this entire exchange. He's just kind of looking at Thor like, dude, what the heck is wrong with you? And he isn't even knocked out here because when he gets up, he's literally blasted and jumped by the Black Order. Characters like Proxima, Midnight, and Black Swan and stuff like that literally attack him. And again, he's fine once again. And like, come on now. You got to do better than that.
And in my opinion, yes, because we're allowed to have one of those.
I want you to go back to the original video and actually state where I said you could not have an opinion. I'm telling y'all using the feats incorrectly. How are you going to also say this right here is more impressive when, again, Thor is simply just sent flying away and Hulk is trying to leave to get his friend out of there? And again, Thor was never knocked out during this exchange. The fight ends in a stalemate, with Thor again getting a large majority of the hits in because of his overall versatility and the fact that, again, like I said before, he is much more powerful than what he was before. And yes, I understand this is the Fractured Sun Hulk. I understand he just beat the mother of all monsters and stuff like that. But again, this fight ended in a stalemate, whereas Godzilla one-tapped and knocked him out.
This is actually not that different from this. Now, you can argue the semantics all you want, but but the distance, or but the time he remained knocked out. But let's be honest, the difference is so small, it's actually kind of irrelevant.
Okay, so let's make a quick rundown. There are two different Thors, right? One being more powerful than the other. That was clearly Immortal Thor. And then the quality of the feat. Thor only fractured his skull while Godzilla flatly knocked him out. It's not arguing semantics. It's arguing about the quality of each. The quality of each feat, the power level of each Thor, and why one feat is greater than the other. You can't compare Immortal Hulk's feat to Godzilla's feat because Godzilla has a much more impressive feat of being able to knock out a much more powerful Thor in one hit, compared to the fact that Hulk never did that in one attack.
Oh, and also, the time Thor remained knocked out in orbit isn't stated or even implied in the panel.
What does that have to do with the actual feat itself? I could even say the same thing for the one for Fractured Sun. So, what are we doing here? Again, Immortal Hulk never knocked out Thor. Okay? And the funny part about this is here with the rest of the video, I already addressed your Godzilla being amped up by the all-black Necrosaur. So my question is, what was the point in addressing that when I already addressed what had happened in that specific comic at the end of it? All right? So with that being said here, hope y'all have a blessed day and enjoyed the video. Peace.